Let's talk about Austin, Texas. For decades, this city has been living a kind of double life. Is it this laid-back haven for musicians and artists, or is it a booming hub for tech giants and startups? Today, we're going to dive into this battle for the soul of Austin, the clash between weird and wired. So this is really the heart of the matter. What is Austin's true identity today? Is it still the live music capital of the world, a title it's super proud of, or has it been totally transformed into Silicon Hills, the tech powerhouse of the South? You've got these two identities basically in a tug of war for the city's future. And you can really see that tension right here. On one side, you've got the historic Texas state capitol, this symbol of Austin's deep, kind of independent roots. Then on the other, you've got that modern skyline, a forest of glass and steel that screams global ambition. It's like the city's past and future are staring each other down from across the river. These two nicknames, they pretty much tell the whole story. The live music capital of the world makes you think of the 1970s, right? Willie Nelson, legendary music venues, that whole bohemian soul. But then, come the 1990s, this new nickname starts popping up, Silicon Hills. And that signaled a flood of tech companies that would, well, change the city's DNA forever. So you have to ask, how did a capital city in the middle of Texas get this reputation for being so different? To really get the weird, we've got to go back and look at the city's unique history. Yeah, this definitely didn't happen overnight. It all started way back in 1839 as this rugged, maverick capital. Then in 1883, the University of Texas opens its doors. And suddenly you have this constant stream of young, creative, intellectual energy pouring into the city. By the 1970s, that energy just exploded into a world-famous music scene. And more recently, as all this change started speeding up, locals adopted an unofficial motto. It's almost like a rallying cry. Keep Austin weird. In this right here, this is a perfect, almost heartbreaking example. This was the Hope Outdoor Gallery, basically a living canvas where street art was everything, a perfect symbol of that weird, creative spirit. The key word, though, is was. It's gone now. Demolished to make way for a new development. A casualty, some people would say, of the very growth it was trying to stand in contrast. And that kind of development brings us right to the other half of Austin's identity, the incredible force of the Silicon Hills boom. Now, this wasn't just some clever rebranding. The rise of Silicon Hills was a massive economic and cultural shift. It was the moment that new Austin, this era of big investment, high-tech jobs, and just explosive growth, was truly born. To really wrap your head around the scale of this, just look at the numbers. Okay, so at the turn of the millennium, in the year 2000, Austin's population was about 656,000 people. Got it? Okay, now fast forward just 20 years. By 2020, that number had skyrocketed to over 960,000. That's more than 300,000 new people in 2 decades. That is an absolutely staggering rate of growth. And if you're wondering what that kind of growth looks like in the real world, well, it looks like this. Every single one of those new towers you see on the skyline is a direct result of that population boom, built to house all those new residents and the companies they work for. The city's physical shape was literally remade. But, that kind of hypergrowth doesn't happen without some serious consequences. Austin quickly started to experience some major growing pains. And you can really feel the heartbreak in this quote from musician Dale Watson, who ended up leaving the city. For him, and for a lot of people, it felt like Austin's soul was being sold. And that last line is what really hits home. The city was never about money. It was about quality of life. And that quality of life was getting hit by some very real problems. Soon, Austin had the worst traffic in all of Texas. Home prices went through the roof, and the city's basic infrastructure just couldn't keep up. You had catastrophic power grid failures during winter storms, and even city-wide orders to boil your water. It got pretty serious. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not a simple story of the new just erasing the old. In today's Austin, the weird and the wired are constantly bumping into each other, coexisting, and sometimes even mashing together in fascinating ways. Check this out. Right under the Congress Avenue Bridge, in the heart of downtown, lives the world's largest urban bat colony. Every single night, up to 1.5 million bats come pouring out into the sky. It's this surreal, natural, and just quintessentially weird Austin thing happening right under the feet of the new bustling city. And then, just a few miles away, you have this, the gleaming, state-of-the-art Q2 Stadium, home to the city's Major League Soccer team, Austin FC. I mean, this is a symbol of new Austin. We're talking big money, pro sports, global entertainment, a whole different universe from the gritty music clubs of the 70s. And you see this blend everywhere. The city's famous grassroots food truck scene? It's still there, right alongside internationally acclaimed restaurants. Franklin Barbecue, which famously started in a trailer, is now a global phenomenon. And the city's legendary local music venues now share the spotlight with South by Southwest, which has become one of the biggest media festivals on the entire planet. So all of this leads us to the ultimate question for a city that really finds itself at a profound crossroads. After seeing all these forces at play, tradition and transformation, weird and wired, the question is simple, but the answer is anything but. Can a city that has become such a magnet for money, tech, and growth truly keep Austin weird? And maybe that brings us to an even deeper question, doesn't it? Is a city's soul just a fixed moment in time that we try to preserve like an old photograph? Or is it more of a living spirit, something that has to adapt and evolve to survive? That's the challenge not just for Austin, but for so many cities navigating this kind of change. And for Austin, the answer is going to define its next chapter.